If you are a fan of the channel, you know it's no secret that I love the Master System, and I feel that it's one of the most underrated home consoles ever. Even with the kung fu grip that Nintendo had on the market at the time, the Sega Master System happened to put out some absolute classics during its lifetime. I've only just begun to cover some of these classics, and today we're taking a look at one of my other all-time favorites, in Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I have great memories playing this game as a kid and was super excited to cover it for the channel. How's it going, fellow geeks? Gamer Dad 79 here, and welcome back to another episode of Retrospective. Now, on Retrospective, we look back at some of my favorite retro games of all time and hopefully find some of those hidden gems along the way. Now, today on Retrospective, we are popping in Alex Kidd in Miracle World for the Sega Master System, and we're diving into its fascinating background as a licensed Dragon Ball game. Yes, you heard me right, and why the game is still so endearing today. Now, unless otherwise noted, I play all my retro games on my Steam Deck, so we are going to talk about the performance and how the game played on the deck. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alex Kidd was long thought to be Sega's answer to Mario on the NES. And while this was eventually true, Alex Kidd had a much more interesting background to delve into. It was long rumored that Alex Kidd began life as a licensed Dragon Ball game. Yep, you heard me right, but nothing could be substantiated. French YouTuber Anthogeeks even posted a video comparing the two properties and showing some of the similarities between them. However, it wasn't until 2018's Untold History of Japanese Game Developers book that the creator of Alex Kidd himself, the media-shy Kotaro Hayashida, I think I'm saying that right, I apologize if I'm not, I'm terrible at names, explained the history of Alex Kidd. Hayashida said, Sega were planning on making a Dragon Ball game. I guess this happened long enough ago that it's okay for me to talk about this. The project began as a Dragon Ball title, not as a direct competitor to Super Mario Bros. But when we were told we cannot use the Dragon Ball license anymore, we were forced to come up with our own ideas instead. For example, when it was Dragon Ball, Goku fought with his power pole, but we changed that to a punch attack. It was only after we came up with the plan to restart the project as Alex Kidd in Miracle World that we started thinking about Mario, and looking for ways in which to differentiate the title from that. Sega had somehow lost the license to Dragon Ball during active development and had to start over. They took what they had developed and retooled some key aspects, as you saw, and Alex Kidd in Miracle World was born. In Alex Kidd in Miracle World, you play as Alex, a young boy thrust into a kingdom-spanning adventure to rescue the king's kidnapped son, Prince Eagle, and the prince's fiancée, Princess Laura. Alex lives on the planet Ares, and for 7 years he resided on Mount Eternal, studying the ancient art of shellcore, which gives Alex the strength to break rocks with his fists. One day, as Alex was leaving the mountain for his spiritual homeland, he encounters a dying man, who tells him that the peaceful city of Radaxian was in grave danger. Alex sets out to discover what has happened while he was separated from the world, and finds out that the evil Jenkin the Great has defeated King Thunder and kidnapped his son and his son's fiancée. Okay, warning, we're getting into a little bit of spoiler territory here in case that really bothers you about a title this old, so be forewarned. In what has to be the biggest wet fart of all big reveals, Alex then discovers that he is the lost son of King Thunder, so he sets out to defeat Jenkin the Great and his henchmen. Now, some of you young whippersnappers out there may not realize that back in the day, a lot of the game's story was located in the instruction manual, which was inside the box, which was something that you went to the store to purchase. The same was true for Alex Kidd, because there's a bunch more backstory and information held within the pages of Alex Kidd's manual. However, none of it's necessary to really enjoy the game. You know, I say this a lot, but I really think the Master System was really underrated, and I mean severely underrated. Alex Kidd looks fantastic, especially on the Steam Deck screen using like widescreen hacks and some of the other things available to you. I did come across some slight slowdown during my time playing, but nothing that wasn't really commonplace back then, especially given the limitations of the hardware, and even then there was absolutely nothing game-breaking. The game was colorful, bright, and the levels and enemy designs were unique and interesting. The Steam Deck has absolutely no issues playing these retro classics, and they look even better when using the widescreen hacks like I mentioned before. Using certain front ends, you can even enable retro achievements while playing. While I'm not an achievement hunter when I play games, it is a nice added bonus for these classic games. It gives them a bit of a modern, updated spin. Don't let the cute character designs and the colorful levels fool you. Alex Kidd is hard. This is a punishing platformer with the added ability to actually punch your enemies. But be careful, you make one false move, you get hit once, and you're dead. You lose 3 lives, and it's back to the start of the game. During your time, you will come across different vehicles to assist you on your journey, such as a motorcycle and a helicopter. But these can be just as fragile as you. You're one hit, and they're gone. Now, the good news is they kind of act like an additional layer of protection, giving you an extra hit before you die. As with most games of the 8 and 16-bit era, you need precise timing in your jumping and attacking, or else you're going to easily lose that life. Look, we're not in kid territory anymore, right? Alex Kidd is definitely not for the faint of heart. During his quest, Alex has to take on Jenkins' henchmen in epic battles of rock, paper, scissors? Well, in the game they call it Gen Ken Pon, which I believe is how you actually say rock, paper, scissors in Japanese. And if Alex wins, he defeats the henchmen. Lose, and, well, you guessed it, you die. Get hit by a bubble, lose a life. Touched by a tentacle, lose a life. Touch the wrong block, lose a life. If it feels like everything is out to get you, it's because everything is. A remake for the game was released back in June of 2021. I rented the game from GameFly, which is my second favorite service in gaming, and it pretty much stays true to the original while updating the graphics and including some of the story into the game itself instead of the instruction manual. However, for some reason, the remaster felt harder to me, and I found myself dying more often than I did while I played the original. I think part of the reason I kept dying was that the remaster's hit detection felt a bit fickle. While in the original, I was easily able to gauge if I was going to hit a monster or miss my jump, etc. In the remaster, when I thought for sure I was going to land a hit, I didn't, and I paid for it with my life. Now, in one way, the game is easier than the original. If you lose all your lives during a level, you can start back at the beginning of that level, not at the beginning of the game, which was nice because I died a lot. Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX, which is what the remastered is called, is available on all modern consoles, and as of this recording, it was available on the new PlayStation Plus. Alex Kidd in Miracle World had a very interesting journey on its way to store shelves. Starting out as a licensed adaptation of the beloved Dragon Ball manga, to Sega's answer to Mario, Alex Kidd has left a lasting legacy. While it wasn't the Mario killer that Sega was hoping for, Alex Kidd did spawn several sequels and spin-offs, ranging from a BMX game and visiting one of Sega's other game worlds in Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. While Alex Kidd didn't have the same cultural impact that Nintendo's mascot did, it's obvious that Alex Kidd had its fans, and stayed in our hearts as evidenced by the 2021 remake. While the game can be frustrating at times due to its high difficulty level, Alex Kidd does hit that sweet spot of just one more game to see if you can make it further than the last time. Even though I found the random nature of the Gen Ken pawn matches to be frustrated, since you can easily lose because of an arbitrary outcome rather than your skill, I still had fun with the game, and isn't that what it's all about? So that's it for today's video, fellow geeks. Let me know if you have ever played Alex Kidd in Miracle World, the original or the remake, and what you thought of it. As always, I want to hear from you guys on what retro games I should check out next. I'm always looking for those hidden gems. Make sure you like and subscribe if you are new. Hit that notification icon so you know when I upload new videos. Facebook's algorithm is not exactly friendly towards smaller YouTubers like myself, so that helps a lot. And until next time, I'm GamerDad79. Keep on geeking on.